Yeah.
Congrats, what'd you think of the ending?
Dude, fucking Bastion's ending was so good. I actually went and did the New Game Plus as well. When we
I
did, but it's
crewed.
so fucking good. God.
I
Oh,
crewed so hard.
it's so good. I actually got every single achievement in the game except for the extras with the idols because I was like, I'm not that much of a masochist. But I was like, I'm gonna do the game
I mean, you
justice.
say that, but you're attempting Dark Souls
I am not
against
just
somebody who
attempting
has
Dark
beaten the
Souls, I'm
game.
beating Dark Souls. Thank you. I am
Beating Dark
succeeding.
Souls proceeds to spend an hour finding a key that wasn't even in the area he was at.
Well, yeah, it was okay. It was difficult, but I did it. Okay, I did it. I beat the boss, and I'm winning it. Winning.
Was that really spoiling anything? I literally just simply said that he's in a challenge against his brother, who's running a randomizer.
Yeah. Is he spoiling anything? What? Who?
Sorry, I was just making the comment
Oh,
because
okay.
Rowena made the comment that she removed her headphones to avoid spoilers, I assume for Dark Souls. Or, no, that
Oh.
was probably actually Bastion. Sorry, I don't know.
Might have been Bastion. Yeah, I don't tend to spoil anything, so you're good. I will just say that it was a fantastic game. Bastion is beautiful, and anyone who is watching at the moment who has not played Bastion, go, go play it. It's great. It's
No.
beautiful. Also, thanks,
I
Snow,
love
for
how I
the
love how
substrate.
Ellie midway into this is still getting you or dropping the points to get you to hydrate.
I need to up that number at some point.
This child does not hydrate or
I've
eat.
not drunk any water in like 3 hours. It's fine.
Ugh.
All right. But yeah, thank you, Snow, for the subscription. I'm not sure if it actually went through because it's a bitch, but
I
it's
don't
fine.
know even if it does anything. I was just clicking buttons.
Usually it
I
shows
mean,
up
same.
on the screen, but it's been having difficulties lately, and it's been bothering me. But yeah. Anyways, all right.
Well,
Do
I
my
have a button
intro.
here that just like bans you from cursing for who knows how long.
Yeah. All right, my intro. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be discovering the tale of shifting fates. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. Today I'm here with my friends Eleonora, Leon, Oliver, and Rowena. Hi.
Good evening.
Hello. Hello.
Howdy.
Last episode, I tortured them mercilessly, and I will continue to do so because I find it funny.
Oh no.
But,
We'll talk afterwards.
well, we always do.
That is true.
Alright, so last episode, you guys managed to talk with Big Mama. You guys figured out that, what's his name that I will figure out in just a second? Rogdol. Rogdol has now threatened to pretty much destroy her entire encampment with the succession of the new whoever will be the next orc leader after Bloodtooth dies, whenever that will be, as he's apparently being sustained by an elven mage, weirdly enough. Possibly a cleric, but guys aren't. There's very little information about her that you guys have learned. You guys have made kind of the plans to go check out the big ass orc area to see what exactly the elven army is up against. And then you guys kind of turned in for the night. I believe Oliver, and then I think, if I remember correctly, Shaky will be taking like first and second shifts, and then the two girls will be waking up a little bit earlier because they have less time that they need to sleep.
I mean, I'm literally working on those potions either way. And the elixirs.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time doing your elixirs, doing your potions. Eventually, you go to sleep while your stuff is kind of bubbling and boiling and just kind of that process of just waiting for it to finish is when you finally start to sleep. You probably took the first shift, and then Shaky probably took the second. But yeah, so few hours pass, probably about 6ish or so pass. Both of the girls wake up from their shorter sleep because they are half elves. They need less sleep than humans, or well, they need less sleep than humans, more sleep than actual elves. Jesus Christ.
Ah, sorry. I have no idea what just happened.
Oh, you probably clicked the
Doc, would you
macro.
please not spill everything around the tent? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Sorry. Promise it's not gonna happen again. I hope.
What even is all this stuff anyway?
It's a handful. Well, this here is a. No, what was it? This is a Dandelion Root. That's Skywood sap. Got a bit of couple of nightshade leaves here. Believe me, there's a lot of strange. There's a lot of strange.
I love the
materials
idea
used for
of you
potion
like
making.
just spilling a couple of things and you put them on like table and you just like point to one and you stare at it for like a couple of seconds and then like, what was it again? What was it? Ah, right. Everybody's looking
I
at
just
you
like
like,
to imagine myself just like I am a very visual learner. It's just like try to teach me terminology. Heck no, I'm not learning that. I just know what this thing is supposed to be used for based on how many leaves it has.
your medical professional is staring at like a leaf like, what was this again?
I know what to do with it. I just cannot remember what it's commonly referred to.
I mean, at least he's not like licking it or like biting on it. It's like, okay, it's this plant.
I mean, let's be real. A couple plants you probably need to do that to figure it out initially what it is when you
We'll let
harvest it.
Eleanor lick it.
Excuse you. You're already on my list.
Yeah,
Here, I'll do it. What's this petal? Why does it taste all tingly?
There we go. I haven't updated her picture yet. Oops.
I'm not even fully done with it.
Okay, well, then I don't need to update it yet, so woohoo. You're welcome. Okay, I'm just showing the pictures primarily. Oh, okay. Well, apparently they're too big to sit side by side. Maybe if I pop them out? I mean, kind of. I was hoping to just like pop them side by side, but apparently I can't do that, so oh well. Let me zoom in a little bit. So, the night kind of passes by. The two girls wake up because I believe they wanted to talk to each other, if I remember correctly. From their
Chit-chatty.
sure nap. The lads and the ladies. The lads have laid down to sleep. The ladies have woken up. Discuss.
Let's see what exactly I wanted to talk about.
I believe you were curious about my mark or the riddle.
Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Your voice is coming across as a voice.
Let's try it once more. Can you hear me?
We can now hear you.
I can't
hear
okay,
you.
okay.
I can hear you.
I couldn't hear you guys, so I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like all of us were like, yeah, and Shake was like, no, and then you just went quiet, and we're like, oh, huh.
I was trying to be funny, but nobody laughed.
I
I
laughed.
saw the names light up, and I was like, oh, no.
Try not to choke on potato salad right now.
Man, it's been so long since I had it. Anyways, but yeah, so Rowena, you want to ask Ellie stuff?
Ellie, dear.
And good morning to you too.
Yes, good morning. I guess maybe. What is it? Yeah, I suppose it would still be morning, even though the sun isn't really up.
It feels like morning. Does
matter.
that count?
I guess it doesn't particularly matter. Didn't you say, it was a little while ago now. You were looking for a person related to the resistance or something.
Ellie?
There it goes. Yeah, I was told by the tavern barkeep that I used to work for that if I was interested in the resistance, I would have to talk to this elf that
Half elf.
was a half elf at a goblin bar about it.
Why are you interested in joining the resistance?
Well, at first, when I heard about it, I didn't know much of the war. I just knew that I just heard that there was this resistance group growing against this war, and there was going to be an uproar against the citadel itself. So I was just mostly curious because back then I didn't really know much of the war. Now I have a pretty good idea of it, and at this point I kind of just, I'd say, stand in between. In my opinion, both sides are wrong. They both just equally need to go down and compromise in some way with each other, but yeah.
And what do you think about Big Mama's camp here?
I honestly like it. It's kind of worrisome that there's a chance of it being destroyed. She seems really nice. And despite it being freezing, I probably wouldn't like live here, but it's definitely a good place to stay. And she seemed to be pretty welcoming to everyone. That's not violent.
Indeed, and that's what's digging into me right now. I don't.
Well, she already brought up that she'd be okay with half elves. And she's already met us. She probably already has a pretty good idea that we are already half elves. I mean, she was staring us down. Or at least me.
I don't know.
I mean, if she makes breakfast, I can always just wander on in there, not covered. Well, other than clothes, but having my ears showing and all.
I'll walk in
I
there uncovered.
I don't know how to reconcile what I am seeing with what I have been taught.
Well, I'm all ears even if it doesn't make sense. I mean, I've told you some pretty weird stuff, so.
Okay. Well, I I was always told that they, of course, hate us and that they're supposed to, like, fight us in this war and they want to kill us. And, you know, I'm all for defending ourselves. But coming here now and being in Mama's home, it's even more. This just sounds blasphemous in my own head. It's even more welcoming than the Citadel has ever been.
Well, if that's the case, we can always just set up camp here or at least nearby. But that's how I was feeling when we first arrived here, because I was worried that, oh great, we might be attacked and eaten and whatnot because the orcs we fought against. But being here, like, yeah, it was definitely off-putting, but it definitely opens our eyes to the fact that not everyone wants to be in this war, and there are welcoming people. I mean, this place is more welcoming than the forest has ever been for me.
But I mean, obviously, it's not all of them. It's just this one little faction that we found, right? I mean, there's a whole army preparing to go fight, right?
Well, who knows how much of that army is being forced, if you think about that, even. Because, like you brought up for the Citadel, a lot of the half elves are basically forced and grew up being taught and told that, hey, this is a war, you have to defend, you have to sacrifice, and go, whether you like it or not. So, for the orcs, it could be that too.
I suppose.
I mean, it's not like they're all copy paste, it's their own individual person, like Big Mama. It'd be kind of scary to have a bunch of Big Mamas everywhere, unless they had her same personality, but if they all look the same, that'd be kind of scary. But also really nice, so I don't know.
It's nervous laughter that you hear. And then I'm not sure what to do about my mission anymore.
I'm honestly questioning your mission in the first place, because if you're saying this place is a lot more welcoming than the Citadel, and I found you by yourself, was that supposed to happen? Because if it's a scouting mission to see an army, I think you're supposed to send more than just one person. At least that's what I've
Well,
gathered.
I am magnificent, so I can do it by myself, of course.
Oh, well, yes, you are. I know. But I'm just worried and concerned because I was told, kind of in the bar, but mostly outside of my forest, that half elves are war fodder. So I was just worried that they were just using you. That's all. But I know you're more than capable of handling things yourself. But you gotta watch out for yourself, or at least someone watch out for you.
I chose this. My father wanted me to stay home, become like an artist or something. Maybe a translator, since I'm pretty good with languages, but I felt like I needed to prove myself. And, my father's, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but he's pretty up there. And so to live up to that, I thought, if I went into the military, climbed the ranks, maybe I could be more like him.
That's really sweet, but have you thought that maybe he was just trying to protect you? Because, like, my parents, whoever they were, other than like a half full elf and a human, they dropped me off with the gnomes when I was a baby, so I take it as they were just trying to protect me in their own way away from the citadel.
Well, I know my mother was somewhat protective. She let me, experience the world and everything. My father was, I don't know, he's he was obviously trying to hold me back. Like, he knows I'm good at this stuff. I guess maybe.
I mean, I'm not a parental figure myself, but as much as I know you're confident and magnificent and able to shoot down anyone and track them down, no problem, just resilient and powerful in your own way, I still worry. I still like stay nearby, and I even brought up to you that I'd stick by you wherever you went if I can. So maybe that's his own way of doing that. Because again, I'm not a parental figure, but you do mean a lot to me. Just like
Rubina's just
how
smiling.
just like how Big Mama watches over everyone and sacrificed a lot of stuff to even have this little encampment and welcomes everyone. Even though she's more incapable of going out there and dealing with stuff herself, she's like, no, I'll just stay here and make sure they're good and I'll keep them in check. But if they want to go, they can go, but I'm gonna keep an eye on them and go help.
Do you feel any different than when we were over on the more sunny side of life, I guess you could call it?
Do 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 do.
I would say for you, Ellie, you would probably, especially with your attachment to Palor, I would
Not
say
to say.
your character would probably feel, you know, that feeling where it feels like you're missing something, like
I was
you
gonna
have,
say it's like it feels a bit lonely and like empty. Like I'm
yeah,
missing a
yeah,
part of
that empty
myself.
feeling. Yeah, that's exactly what
Not
you
to
would be feeling.
say,
Yeah.
I grew up with my old best friend and now he's gone.
Hmm. Yeah, so that
So,
would definitely be how
yeah.
you would be feeling. Would be that empty feeling.
Honestly, being here the longer that I am, it feels like there's a lingering empty feeling. Like some part of me is missing. But other than that, I feel fine being here. I just feel kind of empty and lonely. But it could be since we're on the dark side, I just can't reach Paylor. Because he was around me a lot growing up when I was basically spit upon and avoided, like the plague, because, well, half elf amongst the gnomes. So, but other than that, it's really nice here.
That's that sounds like a lot worse than what I've seen, at least at the Citadel. I mean, half elves were mostly ignored or a little bit bullied by the other, elf children that were around their age.
I mean, I was
But
amongst gnomes. They
actively
were,
spit on?
well, gnomes are tiny beings of anger and they
Oh,
grow a lot slower. So, a lot of them were kids when I was like a teenager or whatnot. So, I didn't
true.
quite understand. But nonetheless, I
It's
was different. And gnomes like to be with gnomes only, so. But I didn't pay it too much. I mean, yeah, it sucked, but I had Paylor. And then I left the forest and met you. So, and now we have a group. And I love this group a lot. I feel very welcomed. And Big Mama added so much love, and it was quite enjoying this journey so far. That was an accidental long walk.
I. Rubina is hesitating. Um.
What's up?
Well, I certainly feel a little different as well. Not necessarily like something is missing, more like, I don't know, maybe more freeing.
A little more kind of like yourself?
Well, I mean, no, this is definitely not myself.
Well, you said you live up to trying to be your best in everything, but don't you feel relaxed?
I suppose that's a word, yeah.
I mean, you're away from the Citadel. You're not around anyone that will critique you. The only person that will probably critique you is Big Mama if you don't eat or take care of yourself, so. Oh, and myself if you try to run off, so.
You know, I don't. As much as I was on board with actually killing the tiefling, I don't actually feel like it too much anymore. But you can't tell him, okay? Don't tell him. This is a super secret.
Ellie chuckles as she peers over at Oliver.
It's like probably like 10 feet away, just sleeping, next to his bubbling concoctions.
Oh, I won't tell him. I'm sure he'll figure it out or you tell him yourself, but either way, the group's definitely growing on me too. I've definitely grown attached to each person. Shaky's, well, Shaky. I definitely give him grief and tease him, but I do care for him. But it probably helps that you guys are literally like the first people other than that I've ran into in the gnome bar, other than like gnomes and dwarves and sometimes humans. But it's been quite exciting. It's like I've been reborn ever since I left the forest because I'm learning new stuff and everything else that's like outside the forest.
True. After leaving the Citadel, you know, I'm all the way up until probably we got to the bloody trail. I've been pretty set on everything that I've learned, sticking with it. But the further and the more that I see, I don't know. Like, it's to use his name, I'm a little shaky.
What?
Oh no.
Well,
It can be exciting and scary to be around new things and feel new things that you're not used to.
it's absolutely terrifying. I don't like it.
Ellie gives you a half hug. Oh, I'm sure you'll be okay. And if it gets too scary, you're surrounded by people you know at least. Or you can go shoot something.
As a very effective tactic.
Mm.
Did you want to ask her about the mark, or are you still holding that one off for a while?
I mean,
I'm trying to think of a way to kind of talk about it.
I mean, I don't know
with
much
the poem.
Hmm?
Ruina's just, gonna talk to Ellie, say like, so with the poem message thingy, do you have you still don't have any idea of what it is, right?
Not fully. I'm assuming it's based on something that's gonna happen. Some things that have already happened, maybe like a choice. Because it could be even not to me, it could be to anyone in this group, even.
Well, I've kind of been ruminating on it as a way to not think about how I don't actually want to stab the tiefling anymore. And, well, it's not like I see it all the time, but with what it says at the beginning, the mark of one bends in two. And you have your mark right here. And she points at Ellie's, like,
Mm-hmm.
mark on her arm.
Covering a bicep, I believe.
Somewhere around there. Either way, arm.
Mm-hmm.
It is strikingly similar to mine. And Rowena shows her.
I believe this is the first time that you've actually seen her mark, or knew that she had a mark, Ellie.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. I knew you were a half-elf, but I didn't know anyone else other than myself also had a mark.
It does, in fact, look almost identical to yours, which you can actually see a lot better because it's on your bicep instead of shoulder. So, you're able to compare them a little bit easier.
I don't know what it'd mean other than, like, us coming together or something like that. Because I don't know much about the marks other than it is there and it lets people know who we are.
Specifically, you would have been told by the, we're going to call him Great Grandpappy. That's his name. You say it with a weird accent, it's fine. He more or less told you that it was an insult that you had it, and that your birth was, many colorful ways of saying very mean things to you.
Is it bad I knew exactly who you were talking about when you brought up how bad the tattoo was? Well, Mark.
Huh? What?
Anyway, I was always told that the mark was just bad news and
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
many colorful things. According to the old man gnome.
Grandpappy.
No.
Grandpappy Jeemus. That's his new name.
But yeah,
I don't know
maybe
what to make
it
of
is
it.
just that then. The mark of one bends in two. Because I haven't met my parents. Who knows? Maybe my parents are your parents. Or half siblings, even.
Honestly, I don't know, and that's just wild to think about.
Again, kind of new to this whole. Oh, hey, there's another person like me with the mark, even.
Yeah. It's nothing really to be ashamed of, I suppose. It's just nothing much we can do about it. You know? Probably not. You haven't heard much about it.
Yeah. According to Grandpappy, basically foot in the grave or in his mouth, it's not a good thing, so.
Well, I mean,
And I
it's
haven't heard otherwise
pretty good
really up
for
until
a
now.
blood elf.
Hmm?
It's pretty good for a full blood elf. It's just if it's on, half blood, I guess, or just half elf, not half blood. It's not something we can pass on, and the elves are kind of all gung ho about it. I don't know. Doesn't matter too much to me, other than another thing I have to, live up to. But there's no way to actually live up to it.
About to say, you choose too many things to live up to, it seems.
It's just one that I have to live up to. I got to live up to my father, and I want to be as good as he is.
I mean, makes sense.
Not that I'm like. Ruina's kind of just like fumbling all over. Like my mother, fantastic lady, but she didn't get to do much, so there's not much to live up to on that side. Granted, I guess I never really saw much from her side. I don't know. Maybe it's something I should ask her about.
I mean, maybe we can even maybe she can even help us with the riddle. Cause like I brought up, it could be broken up into pieces where something of the past, something in the present, and then something into the future. Because like the choice to be is always yours could be future or present even.
Well, when do you think we should wake the boys up?
Never.
Yeah, if you flat ears don't mind. Sorry, if you ladies don't mind, the lovebirds don't mind, the flat ears are trying to sleep.
I'm about to make those flat ears no longer flat, sir. Thank you very much. Ellie threatens
Cauliflower.
as she blushes.
How do you unflatten flat eel?
They're
You hit 'em
inward.
multiple times.
They're indented in with my fry pan.
That just
Oh, I don't
makes
care.
them
I don't care
more
whether or not you get any sleep, Doc.
God. Alright.
I mean it with so much love, Shaky. I promise.
How much
Sorry,
is it over here?
I saw an opportunity. Oh, are we still in character?
yeah, welcome to be.
Marina's gonna ask in character.
If I say nothing, will I escape this encounter with my ears intact?
Maybe.
Nothing.
No, I want the truth. Is that the truth?
Sure.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Go to bed. Or if you don't need to sleep no more, keep it down.
What, you don't want to join in the fun?
I have been awake for 18 hours, I think. It's been a while.
My fry pan can help you go back to sleep.
Do whatever you gotta do.
I believe that's it's called death.
About to say, I am not going to check that roll. Last time I checked, it probably could have killed Oliver, so.
Well, yeah, at least don't smite people. Alright, so unless you guys want to talk about anything further, the night, well, effectively the next couple hours pass. It's so hard to explain day-night cycles with no day-night cycles. I know I did it to myself, but, shush. The time flows, more or less. Y'all get a reasonably good amount of sleep. And was effectively daytime comes on by. If you guys wish to go into Big Mama's area, you can. If you guys would like to discuss where you are going to go from here, you're also welcome to. Or if you like just start heading out, you're also welcome to. Though probably discussing where you're going would probably be better than just rushing, but...
Actually, when Oliver wakes up, he's probably going to do one last stir of each of the individual vials.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, okay, that should just about do it. as he just turns around, showing off 3 vials containing red liquids and the 2 bottles he got the other day containing a pink one each.
Ooh.
Alright, I have a handful of health potions and a couple of altar self elixirs if that's of any interest to anyone.
They look intriguing.
Feel free. He holds out the pink bottles to you, to Eleanor and Ruina. You could use these to change appearance if you need to stay under the, if you still need to hide, or actually, if you still need to stay under the radar. Or I suppose if that's not really of interest, you could also use them to grow natural weapons or gills or fins or whatever it is you have the desire. Won't lie though, these things will only have a shelf life of a day though, so if you want them, make sure to use them carefully.
Do they have to be consumed, or are they also like splash potion?
They are a drinkable potion.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'd hate for it to break like in my bag and then suddenly I turn into like a bunny.
Let's send one.
You know, that was an opportunity to be
Eleanor.
like, no, it's a suppository.
Wait, what? Trade request. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
And send another one to Ruina.
I like how nice this is
Take
set
it
up.
with. Oh,
And while I'm at it, wait. It says I still have the elixir of transformation. What the heck?
Did it work?
Did somebody accidentally decline the trade offer? There you go.
There we go.
no, I just didn't accept it yet. Sorry.
There you go.
And while I'm at it, I'm also going to hand out 1 health potion to everyone.
Nice.
You keep yours.
You don't have an interest?
I have a feeling you're gonna need it more than I will, Doc.
If you say so.
I
I could offer you the experimental elixir, but I have no idea what it's going to do.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Fair enough. Can guarantee it's not harmful, but again, no idea what it's going to do.
And then you have one other one, right?
I just handed out the healing potions and the elixirs of transformation, but I still have the experimental elixir, which is random effect, but
Cool. Feel
Can't
free
really-
to roll me. Did you increase your intelligence or wisdom?
increase. Did we level up?
No, I stated to you earlier that specific unstable alchemy thing that I sent you, it would either increase your intelligence or your wisdom.
I did not apply that. I assumed that was when I had to roll for those.
No, it basically just increases your actual stat by 1, and then that
Alright.
stat is used for this thing with your proficiency.
All right then. Everyone who took a health potion, increase that from 2d4 plus 3 to 2d4 plus 4.
Nice.
Okay, let's see how to do that.
Should be able to right-click on the item and hit edit.
So yeah, did you increase intelligence or wisdom?
That would be intelligence. I am an intelligence caster.
Cool. In that case, roll me 1d20 with proficiency and your intelligence modifier.
Wait, what? I don't get.
That creates the potion, basically.
We're still rolling for random effects? Oh gosh.
Well, technically, if you get between a 2 and a 17 on this thing,
Then that means I need to roll at least a 13 on the dice itself to get at the specific potion I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, technically, in order to get the exact potion you're looking for the unstable alchemy, you have to roll 18 to 20.
I thought we were just rolling these normally. Doing these normally. Okay, so I guess
Did that
that's
roll?
unstable.
I mean, yeah, you have your unstable ones, you have your...
I was just trying to do those as normally.
Yeah,
wasn't
well, I
trying
mean,
to
you have basically 3 different types. You have your unstable, you have your alchemy one, and then you have your healing potion one. So the 2 that you made for the transformative. Those
were
both,
elixirs. Those are from class ability.
yeah, those both get class ability. And then for the
literally
health
had to make them by
potions,
burning my spell slots.
yeah, and then health potions were just made normally. And then the unstable alchemy, you roll a 1d20, and then if you get
The experimental elixir is also just the base class ability. You just get one free every time I take a
okay,
long
so you're
rest.
not using the unstable alchemy one yet?
Nope.
Oh,
I
okay,
do
yeah,
not have
that's
the
why
resources to
I
make
was
any.
wondering. Okay,
I'm
cool.
out of vials, and I can't make any more potions.
Well, that's why I was wondering. All right, just making sure that I'm not missing anything. So cool. Yeah, so you're all good. You're all good. Don't worry
So
about
no
my dum
boost
dum.
to that yet. So no boost to that health potion.
No, you still get that boost of the intelligence boost. Yeah. You just aren't making any potions of the other ones, so it's fine. Cool. But yeah, so now you guys all awake. You've managed to get your potions. You managed to distribute your potions. What would you like to do past this? I assume that you guys would want to talk to each other about future plans.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trap.
What's a trap?
Talking about future plans?
So is everyone
Okay, I'll go
awake
first.
and alive?
Mm-hmm.
I think
If
so.
only barely.
I have to assume being dead it feels the same. Not that I'd like to test that.
Pulls out frying
okay.
pan.
Right. So I appreciate everyone who has accompanied me this far. But I am definitely going to offer you guys the ability to stay here or go wherever you would like next, as I understand that the next leg of the journey might be a bit. She looks at Shaky. Shaky?
You know what? Oh, it's a pun.
Yes,
Sorry, morning
yes.
brain.
I'm being funny.
Yeah, yep. Continue. Morning brain.
Okay, yeah. So if you would like to stay here or go anywhere else, just I am totally fine with you offboarding right now.
I'm not. I'm sticking with you. So you're welcome, and I don't apologize for my presence.
Dispo, if I am correct in the assumption that once you walk away, you're probably not coming back to this town. I think I'm probably best off following, considering I still have some work to do outside of the town as it is.
Bless you.
Bless
You
you.
feeling okay there, Doc?
Sorry, someone in the background.
You're good.
It's all these potions.
It's like we have
Yeah, I'm pretty
sorry.
sure that.
She inhaled the wrong ground. I'm regened and now my head's a little fuzzy. Very slightly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this town's about to get hit, so I ain't staying, and there's no way I'm braving that dark forest by myself, so it's not like I got a choice.
Alright, cool.
If only there was a way we can make sure at least Big Mama is able to escape before it gets destroyed.
At this point, if what he's demonstrated is true, I'm not convinced she would willingly leave with the or without bringing everyone else with her at minimum.
Yeah.
But it seems like a dead end, and basically everywhere I try thinking about this situation. We go into if he decide for some reason decide to go and fight in the war, we're all going to die, and even if we succeeded, there's still a large mass of corpses out there. If we do nothing, this entire town is probably going to be destroyed, and probably the war is going to cost many lives on both sides and a lot of humans. If you try and simply capture this orc that's going to be the problem. Someone else is going to temporarily take over the slot and probably will rampage in this town as well. And if we try and stay in the town, we're probably all going to die.
Well, maybe, but it'd be nice if we were to able to take down the possible leader and maybe even the current, and then Big Mama just take over, but that's just wishful thinking.
I mean, even in ignoring that, just the act of destroying it is probably going to get the current one's favored individual as the ongoing general rather than the one we want to set up, which is once again condemning this location. Again, every way I look at this situation, I just come up with another dead end.
Well, that's when you just destroy both, or at least deprive them to a point that they just ask for a compromise with each other. Because that'd be the only option, really, to keep both sides up. But
have any
that's
ideas?
just my opinion.
Do you have any ideas how we might attain that? Without somehow dying?
Wishful thinking, just... I'm sure since the orcs have a resistance group and the elves have a resistance group, just destroy from the inside and go out. Because I'm sure if there's a big enough resistance, you won't have any people to go to war, really.
Or are all your efforts going to be burned trying to get through the resistance?
Oh, well, gotta have a little bit of hope. I mean, I was stuck in a forest, and I'm just learning all of this, so this is just my opinion, but... I'm pretty hopeful, but it's probably because I kind of grew around a Riddler of a light god, so...
I wouldn't know. I've only heard like a word or two from him per actual instance when we try and communicate. As much as I'd like to try and chat with him here, I get this feeling. And if anyone in this town sees me with this, as he says, for like a second or two showing the pendant before putting it back away, I'm pretty sure I'm going to wind up with a few swords in my face.
Who knows? I mean, Big Mama did bring up that she'd be okay with any half-elves coming here even, and they reside mostly in Kaelor's area. Helios.
Maybe. But I think this would probably make most of them think that I actually am one of the soldiers serving under him. Not that I see it likely I look like much in regards to a fighter.
Big Mama will protect you.
Maybe. But it still would do nothing more than just cause some level of stress and anxiety for, at the very least, the majority of the individuals here, at best case scenario.
No matter what, there'll be friends and foes, but really it's choices of the matter, because there's fate and then there's choice. So...
Perhaps. Still just makes me wish that there was more we could do for this place.
I mean, giant bubble.
6-level meteor spell.
I don't understand.
Just put your slippery grease all around it. Or at least the entrances and exits.
I have enough. I just look at my regens, like, I might have enough to do that once to make one 20-foot or 10-foot by 10-foot square.
It was a funny thought, but knowing Big Mama, she'll probably insist that she's fine, they'll be fine, so...
And to be fair, I don't think they would have to slog through this grease if anyone wanted to leave as well.
Can you imagine frozen grease?
No, I don't want to now.
This is a very unpleasant thought.
We don't even know what kind of grease this is. It does not say what kind of grease this is. All it says is that, or all it implies is that it has something to do with butter.
Now you must lick it. Tell us how it tastes.
Give it to Shaky.
God.
Yeah, no. Look, the seasoning on your cast iron skillet is already probably not edible.
I mean, it's also been polished with It's also had a magical polish added to it.
Yeah,
So,
that was the seasoning I was describing.
oh, I thought you meant the blood of whoever her face got
I
bashed
have
in
you
lots of
know,
that.
I washed my pan.
The blood gives a nice coating, you know. Now you just gotta smelt it.
If I remember correctly, it doesn't cook well. That's the sacrifice of having it unbreakable.
Yep. I mean, you could try cooking for them.
I suppose they've always said that there's a cost to nearly everything. But sometimes it's just safer to use these. I just say as I pull out a tiny pack of crackers and a piece of jerky.
Good rations.
Well, we can see if Big Mama has anything for breakfast before we head over.
That's fair. Probably would be a good way to start things out, and a good time to properly say goodbye.
Pretty sure we might be hunted if we didn't.
What makes you think we'd be hunted?
Just the vibe I get from her. She's pretty protective. Like, everyone calls her Big Mama. I didn't really have a mom, but I'm assuming she'd be like that. I don't know.
Not convinced that she's that kind of gal at the moment, but you know what? I'm not planning to mess with that anyway.
Alright, cool. So y'all won't go and talk to Big Mama?
Check out breakfast.
At the very least, I'm going in there.
Cool, cool. Let me make sure this is the right map. Boop. And now to find your guys' pictures again. There they are. There we go.
Fine.
Alright, cool. You walk in, I believe his name was Jimmy? Yeah, Jimmy's not there at the moment. Oops, that's wrong button. No, this button. This button. Jimmy's not there. Ragnar is currently sleeping in the chair. He's just kind of curled up in there. Many of the other goblins, or not goblins, many of the other half-orcs aren't there either. A couple humans are in there. She's currently giving out food to a couple folks. Looks like it's another stew of some sort. Some meat in there. Some oddly colored, what you assume are vegetables. Some purple, some black. Smells good, though. And then she looks up as you all enter. Well, hello there. I thought you guys would be gone by now.
Yeah, I thought so too.
We were planning to head out pretty soon, but we figured we should probably pop in one last time as we were on our way out.
Well, you're welcome to have some food. A good journey starts with a full belly. Sometimes it starts with a belly full of rocks, but it depends on the journey.
Suppose honestly, food can be anything so long as it's edible.
Where are you all planning on going? She hands out some bowls as she places it like next to the cauldron.
Northwest.
I was trying to think of
I have no idea what direction we're going.
It would be north, yeah. You guys would be heading north. She raises her eyebrow. Oh, towards the dwarves, or?
Yeah, mostly just exploring, you know.
Definitely
Getting
not
to know
about to
the
do
area.
something stupid.
The long,
Wandering
awkward
around in the wilderness
silence.
in general is probably considered stupid by someone, so I think that's arguably not true, but whatever you say.
The long,
Ellie
awkward silence.
whips her head towards Shaky and glares at him.
That was great. It was, where are you guys going? That was great. She kind of looks at you with slight concern and a look of slight confusion. She kind of like raises her eyebrow and she's like, "Are you sure you're going to the dwarf? Do you guys know where the dwarves are?"
Yeah, they're to the northeast.
We're going in a direction that I know. There we go.
We're definitely at least going north. And we're having an adventure along the way.
In a week, pour one out for us.
She looks so confused now. She looks so unbelievably confused, so she's just like, uh-huh. Oh, well, best of luck with that, I suppose. If you're going north, do your best to avoid the, oh, what the fuck was the orc camp name? Rockatar? Hold on, what the fuck was its name?
You mean
Naguljag.
Rogdog, the
That was
last
it.
of the troop?
Be sure to avoid Naguljag.
You know what, Mama? That is good advice. And then I'm going to turn to Ellie and Runa. People should take advice like that when they hear it.
Did you hear something, Rurina?
No, I'm enjoying this wonderful soup.
Yeah, it's
Soup?
really
Soup.
good.
Thank you.
Indeed, it's been a while since I've had home cooked. Since I've had a home cooked meal. Well, aside from last night, I suppose.
She looks between Shaky and Rowena and Ellie. There's a staple of confusion plastered upon her face, and she's like, yeah.
Don't bother trying to question it. I'm pretty certain, even if I understood half of what they just said, I probably would be even more confused. And no, I'm
It's
not
just
trying.
morning talk.
Morning talk. It's like,
It's a human thing.
alright,
Disregard the
fair
fact
enough.
that one of us is a human.
I'm half.
Same.
Have either of you ever met a human before me?
Question: Did all of you just say that in? Oh,
I
did
don't
all of you just say that out loud?
Oh no!
Technically, guys, Ellie, you met the bartender first.
Yeah, about to say, it's like I
You know what, I'm
remember a
sticking with
hunched
it.
over drunk.
She's just looking between all of you with a face of pure and utter confusion. And she's like,
You know,
Can I
it's
say,
pretty
don't bother
warm
trying to
in
question
here.
it?
Huh?
It's pretty warm in here. I'm going to gradually take off my hood.
okay. Not a single change in her look you can see. She just holds that same slightly confused face as she's just kind of slowly drinking her meal. She's like, so you are planning on avoiding the Guljag?
Nope.
My ears are showing at this point, but okay.
Yeah.
Casually just tucks my hair behind my ears.
She does not even
Yes, we're
look at
not
you
really-
twice.
We're not exactly going in that direction, you would say, but I'm easily lost, so.
She does get a look of concern once Shaky says no, and she like turns her attention to him as she leans forwards a little, and she's like, "Your group is planning on going to Naguljag, the
Yep.
head camp of all orcs, preparing a siege on the elves. I just won't get that straight, right?"
I've known them for all of 2 days, and let me just say, in that time, I've never known them to plan ahead. It's better just to humor them. Here, and I'm just gonna hand her 5 gold pieces for breakfast and the shelter, I suppose. And hopefully your
thanks.
silence, but frankly, I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference either way.
She kind of just shrugs. Yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with half-elves for like 30 years now. They're more slender, slightly more tan than most humans I deal with, and the calluses on her hands, she gestures to Rowena, are clearly hands of a fighter. But, Han, wait, why are you going to Naguljag?
For me
Curiosity.
or the rest of them?
I thought you were
At this
going
point-
together.
Not all for the same reason.
Oh. What?
I mostly just got hooked up in the ride.
Yeah, Doc's going because he's got no backbone.
Speak for yourself.
Ellie's going because apparently she's got a sister complex. Ruina's going because I don't know. Ruina's
That's
going
what I
because she thinks it's what her masters want, I suppose. And
What the?
and I'm going because, well, fuck me, I don't actually know why I'm going. I'm going because I'm a sucker for punishment.
Hey,
suppose I'll-
Rowena, how
suppose
heavy
I'll-
do you think his body is? I think we should knock him out.
I could take off
Question:
an
Do
arm.
either of us hear that?
I assume all of this is in character, so y'all hearing
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Yes.
All of that was 100% in character.
Yeah.
Shaky's got a very low opinion of you three and an even lower opinion of himself.
Yeah.
I suppose while I'm here, though, I did have one question I wanted to ask you. He says he's looking towards Big Mama.
She looks a face of pure astonishment, slight admiration,
Baffled.
bafflement, and confusion before she looks to you and just kind of tiredly rubs her forehead, and she's like, yes?
Aside from the four of us, has anyone in this town seemed a little bit strange lately?
Not that I can think of. Last time I went up to the orc camps, some were fidgeting a little bit, but we're also about to enter wartime, so... Eh? She just kind of shrugs broadly. Yeah, we're under constant threat of death. So we're not really sure what you would count as oddly.
He just places the hand to his forehead and just starts rubbing his sides, just and the worst part is this is probably the best news I've heard all day.
Right. She kind of places her bowl down. It kind of just puts her hands together. What's there? Huh? I have to process this. She looks so confused.
Believe me, if I explained it to you, it's just gonna spread and panic. If everything, at the very least in this town, seems reasonably normal, then that's actually a lot better news than you think. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Good. If you're going to Naguljak, do you want Ragnar to go with you? She gestures to the kind of snoring orc.
I think he looks. Oh, as much as I'd love to say yes, he looks pretty comfortable where he is.
No, he hasn't seen battle
Also,
for
I'm
a week.
concerned he might be more harmful than helpful. No offense to your friend.
She shrugs. He hasn't seen battle for a week, so he's a bit jittery at the moment. He's a good soul. He's just, well, he would run in there very quickly. Yeah,
And
probably
that's
not the
just
best to
gonna
take him.
Yeah, it sounds like that's just gonna cause a scene and probably wind up with him and a handful of, and at the very least one of us dead. Best case
Yeah.
scenario.
I would send Jimmy with you, but they hate him a lot.
At this point, if what I understand for the situation is correct, we're just planning to get a look from a distance and then call it good. But
That's, I think, the smartest thing I've heard out of this entire conversation. No offense to you two. She gestures to Ellie and Rowena.
Ellie
my
dips her
plan
head
all
down
along.
shamefully.
Rowena's just flabbergasted as to how she's this. What? The Tiefling said her plan, and now she's the one who's dumb. Considering,
I mean, let's be
murder
honest. It was pretty clear she'd figured out most of this sort of thing. So the best I can just do is just spout out something. Just spout out enough that's going to
Big Mama
maybe
just kind of
nerves.
looks.
Just simply
She's
so
like,
just like,
I thought
no,
you guys
yes,
were
we're going to
planning
that
on
area, but-
storming the capital. Whew.
Can you imagine? So, with this being the most deadly thing he's got, he just pulls out a small black pellet.
Exactly. I was very confused for a second. If you're just on a scouting mission, you, how good are your eyes?
That's a good question.
Should we roll for
Not
that?
as good as I was hoping.
Y'all, two of y'all have bright vision. One of y'all has dark vision.
Yeah.
One of y'all has normal vision. So
I just straight up have glowing yellow eyes.
collectively, y'all subpar.
Yeah. That's why I said not as good as I was hoping.
Right. Hold on a second. She stands up and walks over to the chest again and starts digging through it. You hear many things there are not fabric moving around in there. A lot of metal clangs, and the chest is practically like 6 feet tall. It's a big chest. And she just kind of like leans most of her body in there before she like grabs something and pulls it out. She walks over to you. It is decently large pair of binoculars. Ah, there it is. I haven't used these in... She kind of stops for a second. I don't think I've ever used these, actually. Here you go. I would have used these, but that requires you to be at distance. And as I like to say to a lot of my enemies, I can't kick the shit out of you if I'm not near you.
Fair enough.
I mean, I suppose that's true, but you also can't really see them come. But you also can't see them coming as easily without something like this.
That's true. Although usually if they're at range, it's an arrow piercing my shoulder.
I see your point. How much do you want for these? I ask, because I just
She
start digging
shrugs.
into my
Y'all are about to
pouch.
go and potentially die into the orc camp, and I don't use those. So I'll let you have
just
those
meant-
for free.
I just meant either way, you're never seeing it. You're probably never going to see these again.
I mean, I never saw through them in the first place.
Not really what I meant, but okay.
Well, on the off chance that you don't die, assuming you don't get spotted, and you don't storm the capital, don't do it. Don't.
No promises.
Believe me, I would probably turn around immediately if I was told that's what the plan is. I think my odds of survival are a lot better in the woods.
I fully expect we'll try to be sneaky. I just don't expect that'll pan out.
I made a bet with a god and won. I'm feeling good.
She looks
That's
at
probably the
you
worst
with
thing I've
a
heard all day.
sheer
That is probably
look of
the most concerning
astonishment.
thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, she looks at you
I'm
with like a
surrounded by
sheer look of
lunatics.
astonishment, and just the confuzzlement confounds her again. And she's like, "What?"
Just personal interlog. I won a bet against a god that thought I'd die, so hey, we'll be okay.
This sounds like probably the least convincing argument I've ever heard, but okay. I don't think anything I can say is going to convince you otherwise.
She looks so baffled.
At any rate, I guess I'm going to take the binoculars.
Yeah.
I mean, I made it this far with my mark showing and my ears showing, so I think I have some luck on my side.
Yeah, but that's also because you're in an area where if you were in danger, we would be having very different conversation, and I would be ripping somebody's arm off. There, well, you know how, uh, Rogduel treated you all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was him being nice. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, he didn't even pull out his sword. Unfortunately, most of the orc camp is like that. You may notice them trying to kill each other. Don't don't think it's a rebellion. That's just them having fun. One of the mottos of that area is if you lose an eye or tooth, it means you're stronger. If you lose an arm, learn to use the other.
hey Sin, I can't find any details for binoculars. Can I assume this is like a spy? This is going to be mechanically the same as a spyglass?
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, just allows you to see further. But yeah, so she's just like, so, just, if you do miraculously manage to survive, ideally by not going into the town, here's open to you. Yeah.
It says here I'm going into debt for this, but it doesn't
I'll
seem
just-
to manipulate my stuff.
Yeah, just ignore that, and then if it does, just fix it.
Was not on inventory.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
She just kind of... She has a look of almost pride, deep concern, and confusion. You're always welcome here.
I mean, this place has been a lot more welcoming and warming and loving than anywhere I've been so far, other than with this group.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. We need to get some more meat on your bones, girl.
Yeah, gnomes don't eat much since they're tiny.
Interesting.
Sorry, I blurted that out. Basically, I was raised around gnomes. I've never really seen another elf, per se, other than Rurina. So, yeah. Sorry. Ellie dips her head down again in embarrassment.
She's just looking so confused, and she's like...
Wait, so to double check, I believe it was previously mentioned that they usually just isolate themselves to their one specific forest, right?
Yeah. Most
Yep.
gnomes
Can I
are in
roll
the
an
little
intelligence check right here?
Sure. Yeah, gnomes tend to be in the Littlefoot Woods, and gnomes do not like other races for the most part. At least in this campaign.
Perfect. I just look at her, it's just like, what the heck is a gnome?
A very tiny person. Like, they meet at about my kneecap. The tallest is up to my hip. We'll say about 3 foot.
He just like looks like he's just
They're like
like
tiny
calculated
humans.
space.
Forever toddlers. There we go. Does that make more sense?
I mean, I understand in general size, but this sounds like a dwarf.
I mean, a dwarf, but like take off about a foot and add a little more anger because they're short.
And no beard, she adds in.
Yeah, no
Have
beard.
you really never met a gnome, Doc?
At this point, basically the only races I've had contact with has been humans, orcs, and that's about it.
You've met a couple Dragonborn, too.
And a couple dragonborn.
Hey guys,
Mhm.
I got a new plan.
Oh, no.
Instead of going to the Orc stronghold, we should go to Donkey's Tavern and get the Doc acquainted with the gnomes.
Wait, am I literally the only one who's never seen a gnome?
Rowena
mean-
would never have seen one, but she definitely would have heard of them.
Yeah, I learned about them, but I've never actually seen one.
Oh my god, we gotta get both of you to Donkey's Tavern stat.
They're ankle biters. It's a trap.
I am very concerned.
Would you like to meet the evil ones? And just it's a tiny child staring at you.
I almost spat out my drink.
And the worst part is, I as the out of game player actually knows what a gnome can do, and I am scared.
I love it. But she just kind of she puts her head in her hands and just rubs her temples a little bit, and she's like, ignoring how confusing your entire party dynamic is, I assume you work well together in combat, at least?
Not really.
I mean,
Almost
we didn't
had the
die,
one time.
We didn't die, thankfully.
Barely.
I mean, you looked like you came out pretty well looking, or you looked like you came out pretty well, but so.
She has a look
No
of
comments.
utter astonishment on her face.
Doc was beaten within an inch of his life. You should have seen him. If I were to say on a scale from about 1 to, I don't know, 68, he was at about a 1.
Yeah, I won't lie. I probably didn't look the best, but yeah.
She just starts looking up and down Oliver like
Let's
he's
say
like
68. I bet he'd be more of a 25. On a scale from about 1 to 25, he was about a 1.
she looks over him and she's like,
Okay, I admit I'm not a fighter.
That's quite impressive considering your general size. So she like moves her hand over to like your shoulder and like pokes your bicep, and she's like, how did you win?
Let's just say when it comes to odd tricks, there's a handful of. I'll just say that I've got a few new tricks just simply from my duties and my previous duties. I say as I hold up the black pellet, I quickly strike it on the pant leg and toss it into the fire, just to show that I got a tiny fire weapon.
Huh. A mage. We don't see many of those.
Not exactly in the same way. It's not exactly magic, or most of my abilities aren't really tied to magic. It's all based off of synthesized creations that act as if they were magic.
Fascinating.
Believe me, if I had a time, I'd be more than happy to show you how to build a few of these things, but it sounds like we're planning to head out pretty darn soon. And I'm somehow betting that great sword of yours would probably... I'll just say it probably would create a few more bodies than these things.
Yeah. She has like she slowly starts to smile as she starts looking off into like the distance. Ah, the good days.
He gives a slightly concerned look before going back to his soup.
Well,
Alright, well, I'm about done. Can we go?
Yes, let's.
she looks
Good luck
at
with the impending orc attack and whatever.
Big Mama nods and she looks at Ellie. You might want to cover up your ears.
Yeah, I'll do that. Ellie
could
pulls
al-
up her hood.
Smart. Alright, cool.
Thank you for her hospitality.
She
And
nods.
hopefully we'll get the opportunity to see in the future at the very least. Just simply for the sake of none of us died.
Yeah. Good luck.
If you don't see us again, assume we're dead and tell our story. But make me more amazing.
Just confused stare at Shaky for a few seconds.
Ragnar kind of like shifts and he looks at you and he's like, good well, sir. Ragnar.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it did
Basically,
kind of get.
yeah, good battle. And they just like passed out. Yeah, it's just like Ragnar rolled over. I'm sure we'll tell your story well. Ragnar has a way of telling stories.
Oh, and leave out the part about the half elves. Don't tell that part.
Make sure you all human except for the red one.
I mean, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm far. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'd be the most normal individual in this neck of the continent, but
Doc,
not
I
that
don't
that
think
really
an
adds much.
apothecary is normal anywhere.
Apothecary, maybe not, but a tiefling, certainly is, if I've been told correctly.
They are born here, although they are a slightly rare sight. It's like the drow. Man, I haven't seen one of those
Maybe,
in
but
years.
true, but that's far from unheard of.
That's true. I have killed a couple drow.
You know what? I'm not gonna ask.
Alright, so y'all start making your way out.
Yep.
Cooliosis. Bring you guys back to the dark forest. The Ruina is the main site there. Cool. So y'all head back on your trip to the forest now that you guys are more appropriately clothed. Ellie specifically having a giant fur coat on her back and fur boots. Most of y'all having a little bit more winter wear or winter apparel, or at least thicker garments underneath your usual ones. The snow isn't bothering you guys as much, nor is the probably I think it's about 40 degrees where you guys are at the moment. As you guys continue down the dark and twisting depths of the forest. Is there anything you guys would want to do in the approximately hour or so that you guys will take to get? You guys are following his footsteps, by the way. Just so we're, whoever has the highest survival, give me a survival check real quick. It has been a day. It's not snowing currently. It has not throughout the night. So
I mean, I've got a +3, but I bet that Ruina probably tops that.
Yeah, I think I probably do. Does anyone else have anything other than like a +5?
Nope.
Mm,
yeah, so you're following the footsteps. They're a little bit harder to find, at least starting in, considering how the wind has been shifting. You are able to find it relatively okay and follow it. It does take a lot of your concentration to actually continue following it for the most part. He had very heavy footsteps though, so it does appear that the foot trail is very deep. But you guys are following it for the most part. The trees are still the thin, wiry stuff. You guys do hear a lot of sounds in around you. If you guys want to identify any of them, feel free to roll me perception. Depending on your perception, I'll tell you kind of the rough assumption that you guys would find in this area.
I think I found nothing.
Oliver, you cannot tell what's a bird and what's a wolf.
Curiosity got the best of me.
But to
Ellie,
be fair,
you...
I've never been this far into the wilderness.
Yeah, Ellie, you've been in the woods for almost your entire life. This is slightly different, obviously, but the general creatures are roughly the same. You're hearing different types of wolves, although with weird clattering sounds rather than the usual footsteps. You're hearing bear sounds almost, although they sound not quite the word strangled, but something similar. Like the bear is trying to roar, but it's having difficulty. Plants are snapping around you in some distances. You hear some birds on the trees, which as you look up, they look almost like owls, except that they're about twice as large. Very big birds, but not the biggest you've ever seen. Eagles still put them to shame. Yeah, it's very dark, very boding. All the creatures that you've seen as you're walking have strange-looking eyes as well, seem to reflect what little sunlight is being shown upon them. All in all, gives you a real goddamn shiver down your spine.
Pretty spooky. Everything else seems to fit pretty well here.
COVID bear.
Oh, I just realized I could have even handed her the spyglass or used it.
You're welcome to give it to her at the moment. I mean, y'all walking, so it might be a little bit more difficult. What was that, Chicky?
Speaking of which, do y'all know how valuable lenses are?
I would know. I've been wearing them for the vast majority of my adult life.
That thing's got to be worth at least 50 gold. I say we
You know-
pawn it.
We can talk about pawning it once we've seen. We can talk about what we've done with, or what to do with it when we found its usage and on our own.
Could be useful upon you. Alright.
So just making sure. Actually, I probably should double check that. That might have been a homebrewed thing.
What's that?
I remember something funky working for how spyglasses work. Okay, never mind. That definitely was a homebrewed thing. But then again, this is just description, not really a.
It's fine. Okay. So you guys continue walking down the dark forest. Lots and lots of different sounds around you. Things definitely seem to be almost watching you for the most part. But this path itself, there's only one set of footprints on it. There is nothing else that's on this path for whatever reason, which is the thing. But you guys eventually do, after about an hour or two, do come up to more or less a clearing. There is a large amount of light that's a good distance away from you. It looks roughly like this. Ignore the sky.
Okay.
Oh,
I assume all that fire is actually fire.
Yeah, so all of those are torches and whatnot. It stretches quite a while. You guys can see a lot of different birds in the sky as well. They seem to randomly swoop down. Some don't come back up. There are jagged spires all around the area. Lots of different tents. Lots of different areas. Small gate up front. Lots and lots and lots of different orcs on the ground. Rowena, because you are from the military and you have seen a distinct overview of your own area and your own population, assuming, of course, that probably about 30-40% of this population will go to war, there is probably slightly less than the half-elf population that will be going to war as well. So they're definitely stocked up, and they are moving around a lot. At the moment, you guys are far enough that they're mostly just black figures moving about. You guys can barely see them, especially considering that it's nighttime. You guys can mostly see their shadowy forms passing by the lights as they are going through. But just from the amount of shadows that you can see, it's a lot.
Oh, I guess I was expecting that I was going to have to be the one to look around here, but looks like it's bright enough. And I think this was primarily your thing. I hand the spyglass over to Rowena.
Cuckoo.
As a matter of fact... there we go.
Oh, that's sending me it.
Wait, what?
I mean, I did say if you were a character in here, I would kill you. Does that mean you're a character?
I am not, no. Weird, I should not be...
Wait, why is there a random one in here that's just simply named the Elven Bard?
Yeah, technically that's a different, creature, person. Don't worry about it.
Who's Jimmy?
Jimmy was the, human that was with Ragnar.
He was one
The
that
one
came
that
out to check out
hurried
the
and-
campfire when I hectometer-urgied it to be brighter.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay,
I recall.
So, before you do give her, I'm assuming, did you look through the spyglass before you gave it to her, or did you just pass it over to her?
I just passed it.
Okay, cool.
I did not look.
Roll me your perception flat.
Me?
Oliver. Roll me your perception with advantage.
Okay, with advantage. Really? Even though I'm at disadvantage, I think, right now?
Yeah,
said
I
the
mean,
area
you're
split up.
staring basically at bright lights. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I see nothing.
You shockingly do see nothing, yeah.
With advantage.
Was trying to get a good look around, and one of random vines just starts flailing around in front of me. It's like, nope, taking a step back.
One of them's like, yes. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Are you serious?
Dang.
Do you remember,
I'm
folks? You
using,
do have a
I'm
fate
using
point.
that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Forget
So,
that.
Vines are flailing around in her direction as well.
yeah. So, how the fate points work in this game for the viewers and for y'all, since this is the first time we use them, you will get 1 fate point at the beginning of every session. I may or may not give you more depending on a few factors, and they go away at the end of each session. Essentially, these fate points allowed you to automatically succeed in any roll, or for damage, will just give you the maximum damage roll that you can get, which can be useful, could be difficult, up to you guys. So you essentially just get a flat 20 on your perception, which is very, very, very good. Are you looking for anything specific?
I definitely want to get a handle on like how many seem to be more of like, I don't know what you would call them, more leader
War-focused?
types other than just
the
like
one we
foot
saw yesterday?
soldiers.
So like soldiers versus civilians?
Well, no. So, okay, yeah. I do want to know a general amount of how many might be going to war.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I want to know if we're just looking at soldiers, how many look like they're more of like a general or a leader.
Okay. Yeah, so looking around the area is quite massive. And then it stretches to probably about here-ish on the map, is roughly would be where the middle is. Obviously, there is quite a bit that surrounds it. From what you can tell, especially on the outskirts of this village, is a fairly large village. You could probably shuffle. Let's say there's probably about 600 or so people inside of the Citadel. Like that entire area, probably around 600, maybe 700 people, is easily one of the largest places on the continent and houses pretty much the most people. This one probably is around 500 or so. And of the 700, these are rough numbers, by the way, just to give you guys an idea of the comparison between the two sizes. But probably of the 700 in the Citadel, probably about 250, 300 go and fight. From what you can tell in this area, of the 600, probably about 200, maybe 150 go and fight. So it's definitely slanted a little bit. Their armor does not quite look, at least from what you can tell, does not quite look up to the same standard as the elven armor. It seems like the elvens have a little bit better craftsmanship on their armor. Their weapons, on the other hand, look nasty. And by I don't mean like disgusting nasty. I mean like this will rip you to shreds nasty. Their weapons
Serrated?
look, huh?
Very serrated.
Yeah, some of them are serrated, some of them are just giant spikes, like on like maces and stuff like that. Some of them look like they would be able to just chew through shields. Like there's such a like for the elvens, you'll probably see a lot of swords, some polearms, probably the shields, basic weaponry, basic military weaponry. This one, they just are shoving anything and anything they can pick into metal into weapons, essentially. This crap looks like it's going to, if it doesn't kill you when it hits you, whatever diseases you may get from that wound, because you aren't going to be able to sew it back up, are definitely going to kill you.
Are we talking tetanus or
Possibly tetanus, possibly just not being able to sew up the wound. Oh, okay. Well, okay, so definitely a large number then. So let's go with 6,000 instead of 600 and 7,000 for the other one. Sorry, I was just reading a message from someone. So yeah, much there it's a big population, so probably like 6,000 compared to the 7,000, but the numbers, the general sizes regardless. Just general comparison. But yeah, these weapons seem to be making up for their lack of armor for the most part, and their lack of numbers, because these weapons are going to deal damage. And from the looks of it, you know how like there are some knives that are like triangle shaped because you can't sew it back up after you stab someone with it? Just doesn't work. A lot of these spikes are similar concepts. A lot of these swords are similar things in like serrated stuff. They're nasty weapons. They are not stuff you would want to go against. There are also a couple sword breakers in there that you've seen, although those are very few and far between.
just to be clear, you are aware that's a dagger, right?
Is it a dagger? That is
Yeah, the sword breaker's a dagger.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, just making sure. Coolio. So as you're looking through all of this, in terms of generals, you don't see a whole lot. You see maybe 2 or 3 who are wearing a bit more ordained outfits throughout the mass. It could be that they're inside, a lot of them are inside of the tents. Could be a lot of them are just moving where you can't see them. You do see, however, roll me perception one more time real quick. Want to see if you do
I should probably look and
notice.
see if I can see Ashran, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's survival. Ignore.
That was going to be a good roll, too.
I know, right?
A lot better than
It's not
anything I've gotten
bad.
today.
Yeah. So let me remove that survival real
I
quick.
mean, yeah,
Cool.
survival was better than that, but it still doesn't look half bad.
Yep. And we'll roll that because I can't. Coolio. She is not at all trying to hide. You do, in fact, see Ashrin near the center of the place. I assume that's where you focused on to find her, as the center seems to be the most populated by generals, almost. But she is there. She is she's basically sticking out almost like a sore thumb. Because she is standing up probably at, from what you can tell, maybe around 5 to 6 feet. Really hard to tell from this distance. But she does seem to be slightly shorter than most of the orcs, who are roughly 6 feet tall, usually. She does seem to be a little bit more regal. She is holding a notebook, or at least a leather-bound book, in her right hand, which kind of looks like just a block to you at this range. But she's holding it pretty much by its spine everywhere she goes, for whatever reason. You can't really tell what outfit she's wearing, aside from it being either black or very dark blue. She is standing right next to a flame, though, so you are able to see some details of her. But she definitely has large elven ears. The flames are very heavily accentuating that. Also, the fact that most of the orcs are keeping a wide berth from her. One thing that you also notice, are you done looking out the area, or are you looking for anything else specific?
Just for funsies.
Mhm.
Verena remembers that the tiefling is always asking if people are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is she looking to see if there's weird things going on?
Ooh, that's where that 16 comes in. Yay. So, you're looking around the area for something weird, and for the most part, I mean, they're orcs. You have no idea what
Yeah.
normal orc life is like. So, to you, a lot of them are just weird. So, not much of that catches your eye, aside from them being not really the cleanest. The one thing that you do notice, which is actually near the gates here, you notice a person in a you barely catch it, just right at the corner of your eye. There's not a whole lot of fires there. Obviously there's a couple of them that are like near the edges of the gates here and here, but for the most part that part is very non-illuminated. But you do notice it as he's walking from the gate past this fire down here on the bottom left, up this pathway here. It is a man who's in a full black trench coat, who has a scythe on his back. It looks like he's walking away from the area, and there's also a orc that you can see very, very dimly illuminated, who seems to be pocketing something or another as the guy's walking away.
Tiefling. So, curiosity got the better of me, and I know you're always looking for like something weird. Maybe it's because you are weird. Anyway, I can't see it too well. Maybe you can see better. And then she'll like point out, hand the spyglass like back or whatever, and point out where to look. Show him essentially what she saw.
Nice, nice.
I'll point it in that direction.
Feel free to give me perception with advantage. +2, actually, because technically you gain 2 advantages both from your natural night vision and her help. So just roll your perception, and then I'll add, with advantage, and then I'll add +2 to what the final roll is. Ooh. Cool. 15. That is more than enough to see him, especially with your nice eyes and the fact that he's more or less illuminated behind the area. Also, I'm not sure if the video caught that, but it rolled onto a 20 and then slid onto a 1.
Sounds about right.
Very, very entertained by that. But you do see the hooded figure. There is no apparent features that you can see. Wearing black gloves, a long black leather trench coat, black all outfit. The only distinguishing thing that he has is a large scythe that's on his back, easily 7 feet long. Easily. Especially from what you can tell from his general body shape and everything like that. It also doesn't look like he's actually walking, but you can't really tell if that's just the cloak covering it or anything like that, but it's almost like he's just sliding along the ground. Very uncomfortable feeling.
Snake.
Do I need an intelligence check to determine the general vocation of this hooded man?
Vocation?
As in, can I tell if he's... You know what? Actually, hold on. How do I private message you?
You can just go to our chat, or you can type in /GM space words, I think.
And then your message. Yeah.
One of those two.
Yep. /GM and then
There we go.
your message.
The answer to that question, to the best of your knowledge, would be yes, especially given your history. And judging from the way that he's walking, it looks like he had just talked to the gate and then is now walking away for unknown reasons.
Well, I don't know what exactly he just transpired, but I'd wager it's probably not good. If I am reading him correctly, that is a Necromancer. And I'd say that it looks like they've got dealings with the Orcs here, or at least that gatekeeper. Question is that the same man that started the entire plague hit my town? Or is he even associated with that? That is something I don't feel I'm going to be hearing anytime soon.
You said a necromancer?
Looks like it.
Oh, goodness.
We had one wander through my town a few years back. It was about 2 or 3 weeks before plague started kicking up all of a sudden. Don't know what he's doing here, but I'd wager it's bad news for pretty much everyone, I say, handing the spyglass back.
Well, at least now I know what one of those actually look like. I've only ever really read about them.
Again, it's only a suspicion. Cannot confirm. I'm not right in front of him and do not intend to go there.
He is probably around, I would say, 200-ish feet away from y'all, and he's not walking quickly. In fact, it looks like he's just taking his time with his walk. If y'all were interested, y'all could absolutely catch up to him with absolute ease.
True, but I get this feeling if we do that, we are going to have to do it in front of the gates, which will probably get us caught by the other orcs. And we don't know how powerful this necromancer is because wizards are hard to tell.
This is true.
Well, Tiefling?
What do you mean? I'm not certain what to do in this condition. Approaching him might be more dangerous than... Well, might be more dangerous than simply turning around. Has a very high chance of winding up with our death if... Assuming he's as powerful as the one who spread that plague.
Did you see the one who spread this plague?
Not really his face. Just saw the hood. Popped in
And I
town.
wouldn't know.
Are you
Popped in-
seriously considering approaching the crazy orc stronghold?
Heck no.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No, I'm trying to put some information together in my head.
From
Not
the sounds
exactly
of it, it sounds like we might just approach the necromancer just for information, or at least to stop him.
I don't know if that's the smartest idea.
Probably not.
Again, if he's anywhere near
But-
as powerful as the one who spread the plague into my village, I don't think any of us want to mess with this guy.
Granted, probably
Can
not
I
right
know-
now.
Besides, let me put it this way. Anyone who's skilled enough to turn a farming tool into a weapon is someone you usually don't want to touch.
Oh, is that Runa?
Can I note, like, the direction?
Yeah.
He's heading-
So you guys went straight north-ish, northeast to get here. He's going west to southwest at the moment.
So he's gonna walk right by us.
He seems to be on a slightly different path, but the path does more or less come to where you guys are. It goes up the hill in a very winding degree.
Well, I definitely want to tell everyone to kind of try and take as much cover as possible, like get away from here.
He'll probably be there in about 10 minutes. He is not walking quickly. So,
Even so, it sounds like it. Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like this is an instance where we want to just start walking down the path, back down the path we came from. Because it sounds like if we start now, he's not even going to be able to see us.
not in the slightest.
No need to run, just walk.
Yeah, he's not even at a brisk pace from what you guys can tell. He's just taking his time.
He is like tiptoeing, except without getting on the tips of his toes.
What does turning around and looking at what we came from?
Mm-hmm.
It's apparent, right, that we definitely came this way.
It looks like there's a bunch of footsteps on the ground. Y'all, I assume, walked more or less side by side, following the inland footsteps from the orc. So yeah, the road looks kind of walked. The snow is very
Crap.
clearly disturbed.
Yeah.
Which
mean-
means it could lead to the camp.
Yeah, I mean that path
The
is
orcs
pretty
already
much-
know where the camp is.
Yeah.
My concern is more along the lines of,
Necromancer?
yeah, the necromancer comes up, sees a whole bunch of footprints come up to here, stop, and then, essentially turn back around.
I think I have just enough materials to make a trail of grease.
I gotta.
If
Make
we
some
want-
snow angels.
What's that, Shaky?
I was just thinking we could use it to just if we are going to actually try and attack this man, we would pretty much all have the opportunity. A downed man is pretty easy to hit. As much
Question.
as I hate myself for saying that.
What was the name of that half orc? What was shaken down, Mama?
His name was Rogdul.
Rogdul.
Mhm.
I think I can throw this would-be necromancer off our trail if you're worried about him spotting the footprints.
I'm intrigued.
I am too.
I'm concerned.
Well, we know of exactly one other person who took this path.
Yes.
Are you saying you can make it
Rogdul.
look like it was only him who walked down this way?
Now I can make it look like there were more people with him.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
All right. And standing before you is another half orc.
Oh.
It's me. I'm a half orc. I cast disguise self.
Oh, this sounds like it's gonna get complicated darn fast.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Greetings. My name's what's a good orc name?
Tooth loose, like your tooth's gonna be.
Well, sounds like a name for a dragon.
Toothless.
Hey, I get that reference though.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Well, all three of the movies were fantastic.
I've only seen the first two.
You need to watch the third one. It was good. Yeah, most orcs are named after their accomplishments. They usually give up their, or they have their birth name, but they usually go by their accomplishments if they have achieved any.
If you want Earthshaker, I could make it seem like every time you step, you make a tremor.
Nah, 'cause I'm only a half orc. I got it. Chicken Slayer.
But, okay.
Nah.
Biggest accomplishment.
How about human killer guy?
Two on the nose.
Yeah, and doesn't exactly sound like it'd be convincing to a typical orc.
Singing rapier?
Hey.
I mean,
Why
all
not
the best we
forest
got.
fire? Maybe you started a forest fire.
Ooh, forest fire. I like the way you think. All right. What was the name of the half orc again? I forgot.
Rogdul. I'll post in the chat.
Rogdul. Thank you, mysterious voice from the heavens. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, young lad.
I'm gonna get on the path. I'm actually gonna pace back. 'Cause
Okay.
You said it would be about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's probably closer to 7 now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pace back 5 minutes
Okay.
so that he's at the 4 sets of footprints by the time he sees me,
Cool.
and I'm gonna start making my way.
Okay. The rest of y'all are gonna do.
I guess hide, if that's the point objective here.
And try not to make a trail as to where we hid.
You guys do have left and right. There's
Just side dodge into the grass, I guess. I don't know.
there's a lot of different
Yeet.
terrain
Dodge
cover.
roll.
Feel free to roll me a stealth check with advantage. Not only is night won't matter much, but
Thank God for that advantage.
yeah, yeah.
stealth with advantage. Let's see.
Hey, there you
Oh.
go.
Oh!
Hello?
I am
Where'd
the
you
forest.
go?
God damn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Cool. So
Both good
Ellie's
rolls.
good. Yeah,
What about me?
yeah.
What about me?
God damn.
Okay. Here we go. Ah!
Jesus
We are
Christ, I
out.
forgot how big your bonus is. Yes, there's a lot of terrain
I just
around.
like to say, I think it's just like Hakey's just like staring at the Necromancer or coming, just like turns around, just like, okay, so what are you guys? Just everyone's gone.
There's a lot of terrain around you, a lot of different rocks, lots of different crevices. The blanket of snow is fairly good for hiding as well in some cases. It prevents a lot of the light from moving around, and lots of trees and stuff. So you all find some fairly good places to hide within range, actually, of being able to hear him as well, because of how good your guys' goddamn rolls are. 21, 22, and 23, by the way. 1 point that hell.
Guys, I forgot the half orc's name again. I'm sorry, I'm
Forest
so
Fire.
tired.
I think
I've been up for so long.
You're good. Forest Fire.
No, not my name.
Oh, I put in the chat. It's Rogduel.
Thank you. I'm sitting here like Trogdor.
Trogdor. Rogduel. Yeah. So you guys hide fairly easily, and then God. The Necromancer is just taking his sweet time coming up there. He gets to eventually to the top of the hill, sees the large footprints, and just keeps on walking forwards. And you eventually see him as well. He's very tall. He's probably about 6'8", I would say. So he is. How tall are you in that form?
About a foot taller than I am right now.
How tall are you
I
normally?
definitely roughly half orc size.
Well, that's between 6 and 7
Dear
feet
sweet
tall.
child.
5'6". Okay, he's slightly taller than you. Cool.
I'm 6'6" then.
Yeah, and he's 6 foot.
Wait, you're the same height as me?
No, but I'm casting disguise self. I can make myself
wait,
look
oh my
roughly
gosh, that's right. It's
a foot
even worse.
higher.
Those
Mhm.
alter self potions I gave you can be used to make you look like another race as well.
Ooh, useful.
Like, actually, probably would make you feel like another race on physical contact as well.
Ooh. But yeah, you walk forwards and you see him kind of looking down at you. His cloak is actually covering his face, and especially with the night, you can't see any defining features on his face as well. But he has a very buttery smooth voice as he's like, who might you
I'm gonna pull out a crossbow. Actually, I'm gonna pull out my rapier.
No.
And I'm gonna say, "Who goes there?"
I am but a traveler.
Well,
No
traveler, these lands belong to the Orcs.
Nay, I just came from talking with one.
Tell me why I shouldn't kill you where you stand.
Because if you tried, I would rip the blade from your hands and stab you with it.
Puny human thinks it can kill me.
He chuckles softly deep in his chest. I am no human, poor orc.
Yeah, human tricks no work on me. You're funny, human. I'm gonna gesture to let him pass.
He nods to you. You are a strange orc. Do you know of the goddess Shah?
Do I know of this goddess?
Almost all orcs follow her, as with most most elves following Palar.
Actually, am I correct in the assumption that probably both sides know of the existence of the other, probably by name?
Yeah. They know of the other by name, but they don't know much about what goes into worshipping the other. But yeah, they would know him by name.
Shah will bless me in holy combat.
Ah,
I will die with honor in her name. His name? I don't actually know.
her.
Her name.
Interesting. Would you like to make a deal, Orc?
Oh no.
Shah is my goddess. I am her right hand, or one of the many. I am the Necromancer.
I no trust human. Human trick with words.
He reaches up and takes off his hood, and you see a very dark, from your eyes at least, it's a dark gray, but it's more or less a very, very dull blue tiefling. And he looks at you and he's like,
I was expecting a drow. Okay, cool.
I am no human. I am a tiefling.
Would I know how orcs treat tieflings?
To the best of your knowledge, orcs know of the existence of tieflings, but like with drow and a lot of other races, they are not very common. Very rarely are they seen, and so very likely orcs would have a hesitant trust for tieflings because they are born on the side of cataclysm. And generally speaking, they're probably on the same side.
Okay. I'm gonna lower my rapier. Ha! You know human. You trick me. Good trick.
I tell no tricks, young orc. I told you I was no human, and I am not. We do not tell lies.
But what if that lie?
Ah, that's an interesting way of thinking about it. You're quite a smart orc, aren't you?
That's what they say.
Interesting. Well, I cannot prove to you that I do not lie unless you give me a task to prove it.
Can I give you my task?
You are welcome to give me a task, young orc.
Go report to Rogduel. Tell Rogduel. Tell Rogduel. Camp have sheep. Sheep and strange root plants. Giant sword on wall. Many
Right.
soups.
He raises his eyebrow. A camp, you say? Which camp? There are many around, and unfortunately, I cannot make my way to Rockduel.
Then you lie. You said you'd do task. You know do task. I have no more words for you. I'm gonna walk right past him towards the camp. I'm done with this conversation.
He doesn't even look confused. He looks almost nonchalant about it. He pulls up his hood again. If you'd like to make a deal, we can in the future.
No deal with the liar. Go before I change my mind.
If you see the orc at the gate, tell him the Necromancer gave him money, and he will verify. That is, if you wish to hear the truth. He'll
Yeah, I'm
start
not
walking.
responding.
He'll start walking down the road.
First chance I'm diving into the forest.
Cool. I will say, while you were talking with him, you had roll me. Is it endurance? No, it's not endurance. It's what is it? Constitution. Roll me
Insight?
Constitution real quick. Constitution save.
Constitution, whatever for, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think I get it.
Oh no.
Not my strong suit, but real pretty good.
Nice. You felt a feeling of something or another wash over you. It was almost a powerful feeling of just I suppose the best equivalent would be almost anxiety. Just a constant weight on your shoulder, pressing down on you more or less, almost like fear, but honestly you just kind of shrugged it off to some degree. You've met a couple of folks who have a very similar feeling towards them. Gang bosses, for example, have that same feeling. It's like an atmosphere of sheer power. But yeah, he kind of disappears down the road. All y'all heard that conversation, by the way. So. Y'all were not super close to him, but y'all were within hearing distance. All three of you give me Constitution saving throws real quick.
Oh.
The DC is exceptionally low, so unless you get something stupidly low, okay.
I have seen Necromancer. I fear him not.
You aren't even feeling this.
He's like, brother.
God damn.
Oh no.
I got 7.
Fucking hell.
Snake
2.
lady's worse.
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. She actually has the same aura, so you are not even bothered by it. Rowena, your legs are actively shaking, and your heart is beating at like twice the normal rate. The feeling of pure pressure on your shoulders is almost unbearable, but it soon fades as he leaves. But that sheer feeling of cold running through your heart is not something you're gonna forget for a long time.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Are you okay?
You have no idea how pleased I am that he did not see any of us. No, aside from the individual that wasn't hiding.
I want to try a thing.
You wanna try what?
I want to try a thing.
Okay, feel free.
Can I try sneaking up on the 3 of them?
Oh god.
Kill you.
Oh no!
You're more than welcome to.
Yes!
So I assume it's going to be stealth versus perception.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
stealth.
stealth versus passive perception because we don't know he's doing it yet, do we?
Oh no, Ellie. His stealth is 19. That's gonna pass Ellie's
I
passive.
think that's going to pass
but-
everyone's passive.
Yeah, feel free, Ellie, to roll me your perception as you are not affected by the
I think there's a pretty good chance that Rena might potentially get the opportunity for it because she's actually in terror right now.
God damn. So Leon is sneaking up behind you. You catch him by the barest glimpse of out of the corner of your eye the
just gonna
moment
wink.
he pops up. And he winks at you.
And I'm gonna... Should I hit Runa or Doc?
I don't know. I'm staring at the fact there are 3 20s right in front of me right now.
I mean, I'm going to assume that I'm probably not paying that much attention because I'm going to assume off of the Constitution Nat 20, and as you mentioned, I did not feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going
It's
for
just like-
Doc then. You
Yeah.
feel you feel a tap on your shoulder, and a voice behind you go, "Hey, Doc."
Ah, what the?
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh. What is even going on?
Rowena's just like curled up against a tree or something.
Pretty much.
Oh, are you alright?
Rowena, are you okay?
I'm fine, you know.
Spit it out. No, you're not fine. You're shaking worse than a freaking gnome on the largest thing of beer.
Don't drink beer? Never mind, I guess that makes sense. What am I saying?
I love that.
I am perfectly fine.
What happened?
It's just, you know, a little freaky to see it in person. But only I'd ever heard stories.
Is that really all?
You guys weren't as terrified?
Is his fear above game? Is this fear real?
Oh, she's not faking in the slightest. This
Well,
is
I mean, I
she's.
figured in game she's not. I'm just figuring
Oh.
she's like, is she like emulating the unnerve
Yeah, I'm faking it. I
Mm.
mean, do you want
in
me to
real life?
be?
Sorry,
No,
sorry. I just
no,
meant
I'm
it's
good.
just like I was just trying to
Every
figure out what
part
you
of
meant
me
by
was
what's the funny
worried and
thing.
started to tear up. I'm like, oh no, wait. Ah!
Hey, she's a
I was
voice
thinking-
actor. That's her job.
Method acting. We need to embrace the fear.
Let me break
But
all of you
I feel
more.
that I have that this is literally the first time I've actually played D&D with an extended group.
I love it. But yeah, she's chilled to the goddamn bone.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything other than a familiar presence. It felt like Shar
Sorry.
was around.
I was talking to a hooded guy who could probably kill me with the snap of their fingers, in the hopes that I might make them think that more footprints on the road wasn't a big deal. And well, yeah, I was terrified.
Cannot blame you.
Seemed to
So-
work.
Hmm?
Was that to me or
What was that?
Oliver?
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Sorry, what happened?
You said, huh? I was wondering if you meant to me or.
Sorry, I just heard a random "you dork." Like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate.
That's fair.
I am a dork.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, are you guys not as freaked out about seeing a necromancer so close?
Believe me, I'm just glad that he didn't seem to notice us.
I was scared shitless. I'm gonna extend an arm.
I mean, I guess it's scary, but I had a talking to with Shar, so it just felt like her, and I was kind of unfazed. But it is pretty unsettling. But I
won't
can
lie.
assure you, we'll be okay for the meantime.
I won't lie. This is not the first time I've seen a necromancer. Thankfully, in neither occasion have I really had to interact with them.
Wait,
Okay.
how many times have you seen a necromancer?
Not many, thankfully.
Can I get a number? Just a ballpark estimate?
2.
Was this one of the two?
Yes.
And you call that many?
I could have phrased it better. Just like said.
I
That's what
mean,
it was for.
The god
Basically.
only has 2 hands.
Suppose it depends on the context. Kobolds, no. Tarrasques, yeah.
Let's not even guess. No, I guess those are limbs, not really. I guess those are legs, not really hands.
The god does not have limbs. I mean, well, legs. Sorry, she has limbs.
It almost sounds like you've seen her before.
In my dream state, but that's the only time I saw her. She's not the most... How do I put it? She's super talkative, but in a creepy manner. Like, she's never had anyone to talk to for probably decades, and then suddenly there's a person. So she's super talkative, but super creepy all at the same time. And that coldness you felt threatening over. Well, I guess only Rowena felt it and Shaky, but that's her demeanor and aura, basically.
Yeah, that's unnerving.
Sorry.
I just like look over at Rowena. If it's bothering you this much, maybe this will help. Maybe I just hand her for the experimental elixir. It's not gonna make the situation any worse, but again, no idea. It might. Hopefully, it's a boldness potion.
And she downs it.
Nice.
All right. So roll a d6.
I feel
Enlarge,
like I need to do a
reduce,
strength check.
Huh?
I was making a joke. I think I need to do a strength check in case she goes down.
Let's see. The experimental elixir for that. Resilience.
Oh,
Your
was
physical
that
flesh shield. Your
Allie?
physical flesh shield's tougher for the next 10 minutes. You have +1 AC.
Was that Allie? Oh, there it
Hey.
is. That's Runa. Nice. You are now literally having thicker skin.
Unfortunately, metaphorically, you may or may not have thicker skin.
In theory, you may be terrified beyond belief, but you're thick.
Although, if I had thicker skin, I would have thicker skin.
I know,
That is
right? I
true.
was just Rena feels a tiny bit better. She's like, okay, I
Yeah.
feel a little bit more resilient.
All right. Well, y'all have now. Oh, I have to drink water. God damn it. Hold on.
Wait, has she been
She
has
did.
she been paying more? Oh, she did. Okay.
I have quite the buildup on this, so
You do. I need to up
I
those
have
points.
Oh wait, no, hold that. I have almost 3,000 points I could potentially spend on it right
I need
now.
to start
but...
moving that to like 1,000 points to do that or something.
Well,
Let's go
I'm about
floodgate.
to have you drink your entire water bottle, refill it 5 times, and go down it again.
Oh god, you guys would kill me. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, feel free to hit that follow button. You guys see us whenever we do our random streams. We usually stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and every other Friday. Although I do streams pretty much whenever I feel like it. On top of that, pretty much whenever I'm good with my homework and things like that. Whenever I have spare time, essentially. And all of our videos go to Vods of Valhalla, so feel free to check that out for all of our past videos. And for this series, because it's tabletop RPG, go check out Tables of Tartarus. That's where we post all of our TTRPG videos. Rowena, I believe you have stuff going on for next session, I think. If I remember correctly. Yeah, so... I don't know where I was going with that, but... I think you won't be joining us for that session, I don't believe, right?
I
the
do
next one or
not
the one
think so.
afterwards?
The next
As-
one?
It's it's kind of a complicated situation. But from what I know, I don't think I will be able to be here on the 25th.
Okay, cool. So we'll be back and forth on that, see whether or not you're able to. If not, well, that's the expectation. Otherwise, happy join, I guess. Happy mood. But hopefully we'll see you in about a month or so, and we'll see what we're going to do next episode. Feel free to think about that. And god damn, really? How do you get so many
These rolls.
criticals?
Curiosity.
Critical win.
That's your third critical. Sure, 2 of them were.
Okay, here is
crits, but-
dexterity to see how effectively I can turn off my computer tonight. Horrendously. I forget where the button is.
Miss. Alright, well, hopefully we'll see you guys on the next episode, which will be on the, I think, 25th. And we'll see all of you fine folks later. Bye!
Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.